feels like I just can't stop fucking it. I feel super scared.
What? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight season 20 episode 17. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We pick up with Felipe in Daddy Adam's arms, and you know, he's just so confused by what happened. Like, I think she broke up with me. I thought she did too. Turns out I was wrong. And the guys are trying to console him. Child, okay. Upstairs, the girls go to find Tori and they console her as well. And they're letting her know, listen, you do not deserve to be treated this way.
But it's like the tension of being a bad partner gets a little old at times. I don't know what you mean. Done so much to consider you.
You have done a lot.
And
Because I'm getting actually really mad right now.
I don't know if this is a good match.
You're Beyonce. Can't be with another person who thinks they're Beyonce.
Meanwhile, downstairs, here we have the guys talking about, you know, what Tori needs to understand is that she knows you better than we know you. So she shouldn't have other people's opinions about you deter her from wanting to pursue a connection. Mind you, the opinions that other people have about him are the opinions that she has too. They're acting like she is seeing him in a different light because of how he's acting in front of other people, when he acts like this when it's just the two of them as well. And that's why we are here. She feels like there's a lack of consideration in general. She feels like he's not serious in general. She questions if he likes her in general. That's not a right now thing. That's been a thing. So then he's like, oh, my loved ones always give me grace because they know I'm going to say stupid things and I need to be with somebody who also gives me grace. So because you are coddled by your family and they let you be a man-child, I need to give you a pass because everybody else does? Hell no. Hell no. Eventually, the guys get to the point where they're like, you know what? Now, upon reflecting on things, we think that we weren't being considerate of Tori in that moment. And that is a theme with these men for the most part, okay? A lot of them do not consider the women in the process. And that's why we're here. Caitlin confronts Felipe and says that he needs to fix up or he's going to miss out on something good. Sean also chimes in, and I wanted to say this last episode, but this episode for sure solidified the fact that Sean is trying to audition as one of the damn experts. People are already calling him Pastor Kyle Jr. Hello? Here's the material.
We is a different person than just you or just her. They're talking about the we. So if she's not feeling protected, what are you going to do to protect the we? You have to be the one to say, oh, this is not benefiting we.
You backtracking and justifying, show me a marriage that's easy. It's not.
Caitlin and Sean were absolutely on the money when they were clocking Felipe. It was interesting to see Caitlin say all these things about how marriage is hard and you have to do the hard thing in order to make a marriage work. I said, are you listening? Do you hear what you are saying? Because this lady is going to say, you know, I've been making advances towards Devin and he's just not pouncing and I don't understand. Meanwhile, she's doing this. Now, don't get me wrong. For the right person, that is enough. Okay. Speaking from experience, for the right person, that is enough. But also, you could do this to a stranger. I can. I'm a very sociable person. I could rub a stranger's arm and that means absolutely nothing. So for her to assume that that is her just doing the most and she shouldn't have to take on all the responsibility to progress this relationship, I'm like, girl, please get over yourself. So outside, Devin is talking to Nikki and he's complaining about, you know, having to pull teeth with Caitlin. And Nikki says she understands, but she did realize that at some point she had to just lean into the relationship, and that has made things so much better for her. She's actually finding things that she genuinely finds attractive in Sean, and that has helped their connection. Devin says he's open to leaning in, but honestly, like, whenever he's trying to have an honest conversation with her or trying to hold her accountable on certain things, she gets really like, you know, she does not like being called out. She does not like being held accountable. Whenever her back is against the wall, she gets quite disrespectful. And I'm not surprised. We did hear that basically from her father. Her dad was like, yeah, you kind of gotta, you know, tippy-toe around the girl in order to keep the peace. What the hell kind of relationship is that? Devin says he's gotten to the point where he doesn't even feel a romantic spark. And I'm like, ooh, that's a rough one because he was so in from the beginning and now he doesn't even feel a spark. That's not good. So he says the ball is in her court. Don't put the ball in her court. you take the ball and run, because homegirl thinks she's hooping and she surely is not, okay? Turns out that night they had an argument. It was keeping some people up. And the next morning, she says that they were arguing about her physical advances. She felt like that was enough for him to get the hint that she wanted to be intimate. And he was like, no, it wasn't giving that. So they are going to continue to talk about that throughout the day. Then Michelle tells Caitlyn about what's been said about Belle from Mecca. Of course, she was having pillow talk with her husband. He told her. And so she then told Caitlyn. And she's talking like she wants to look out for Belle. But I'm sorry. Looking out for Belle would have meant you go to Belle instead of kikiing about it with Caitlyn. Anyways, all the couples go on dates. We're starting with Belle and Mecca. And Mecca flat out admits that he knows he does not deserve the grace that Belle is giving him.
You told him about my comment at the dinner table? Oh yeah, I got cooked.
I'm not gonna be a 10 to everybody. I said, and I don't want you guys to look at Mecca any differently.
I'm not deserving because I'm always messing up. So yeah, I'm grateful for the grace. It does feel really good and I do appreciate it.
I get that you shouldn't share every negative thing with your friends and family because they tend to hold on to things longer than you do. And so once you fix things, they're still holding a grudge. Meanwhile, you've moved on. However, this is coddling. This isn't even like snitching on anything that he does. Like, you're now like babying him. I personally think he knows he can keep doing dumb stuff because she keeps letting it happen. And she's going to admit that later on. She's like, I keep, making all these concessions for you and stuff. And he's like, you don't have to do that. Oh, you see how he's not offering you this grace? Girl, take your grace back. And another thing, okay? You should definitely have grace in a relationship. But the grace should also come with the expectation of improvement. I have yet to see improvement from Mecca. So you're giving grace for what? You're giving grace and he's not developing. He's not improving. He's not refining his character. So girl, this is all in vain. Speaking of things being done in vain, here I was thinking Tori really stuck it to Felipe. She was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Why are they having a conversation where it sounds like she's giving him a chance to redeem himself?
You said in the beginning you want to make life easier for me. Not only do you not make space for that, but you're like, I don't care.
No, that does make sense. You just wanted me to I guess, hear and see you last night. I see that now. I just have this PTSD, partners being ashamed of me. Just cut off for a sec, please.
I do think that there's something here.
Felipe is a man-child. He's a man-child who wanted to wet his whistle and get some kind of platform coming on this show. I can't be convinced otherwise. I don't understand what is going on here with them. I just don't get it. So Tori is going to indulge this conversation from Felipe where he's like, I just have PTSD. Every relationship I've been in, I feel like people don't give me grace. I feel like people don't let me be me. And so I felt like that's what was happening. Oh my God. Didn't I say this is what Mecca and Felipe do? Oh, but woe is me. I've been through so much. That's not for me to deal with. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your mother. It is not my job to lick your wounds. I can... As a partner, of course, you can hold your partner's hand through the healing journey, but it is their responsibility to go on that journey. What? And the fact that these guys keep throwing their trauma on these girls and it reels them back in is very disheartening to watch. He then says, you know what? I am going to make space for you. I am going to consider you more. I'm going to lighten your load. And here's Tori eating it up. God help us. We then see Nikki on the phone with Sean. Sean is with his mother. And Sean is even shocked that she's checking in as much as she is. Because he's like, yeah, I didn't think she'd want to be keeping up with me this much, but I'm accepting it. I receive it. It turns out progressing physically really, really did something for these two. My brain refuses to accept it, but that is what is happening. Speaking of physical intimacy, we have Devin, who flat out tells Caitlyn, yeah, whatever you thought you were doing last night, it did not hit.
That conversation last night was a little toxic. It's okay to not have to win a discussion. She was just very defensive, so it was really frustrating. Scratching my back a little bit is not cues. Just a lot of miscommunication. I don't see this as I want to fuck you.
I don't love that language right now.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I see it as just coming by, acknowledging me, and she walks away.
Yeah.
Honestly, Caitlyn needs to grow up. And that's funny because at every chance she gets, she calls any and everybody childish. Every single time. She says everybody's childish. You are childish, okay? So she's like, I'm tired of having to pull so much of the weight in this relationship. You are the one who wasn't doing much at the beginning. You're at the deficit. So yeah, you are gonna have to do what feels like more work than what Devin is doing because you have the making up to do, okay? Then Devin is going to say, and by the way you speak to me is inappropriate. I do not appreciate that. I don't appreciate how you shut me down. I don't appreciate how you cut me off. I don't appreciate how disrespectful you are to me, especially when you're being held accountable about something, and rightfully so. So let's not do that anymore. And she says, okay, yeah, I'm going to do better in that department, but that's, if your own father is going to say that this has been a thing your whole life, please, this is who you are. At the date of publication, this is who you are. There's no way she's going to change in 24 hours. And we see that that's going to happen. This girl, she's mean. She doesn't like him enough. And she's lying about her attraction to him. We're going to see that real soon. I also wanted to point out that there are many occasions where we see her try to police the way that he speaks. And I get it. Sometimes he says things that are a bit well, why would you say it that way? He uses vulgar language sometimes, and it's not off-putting. It's just you could have used a better word. So she's often oh, I don't like that. Oh, don't like that comment. Oh, don't use those words. And it's fundamentally, you do not like this man. You don't like him as a person. Why are we still here? As the girls are getting ready, here goes Caitlyn with her childish campaign. She says that he should have known her advances were her trying to initiate, some kind of physical intimacy. I don't know to what extent, but it was an initiation nonetheless. And then she says the way that he responded to all of that was childish. Okay, girl. Then we have Michelle, who's getting ready with Nikki and Belle, and she finally lets Belle know what Mecca has been saying about her.
Wanted a girl with bigger titties. Oh, God.
I didn't ask for a man that painted his
I know.
fucking nails. They always feel like they have to humble me.
Yeah.
We wanted to take it there, we could.
I am so glad she's finally being honest about her attraction to Mecca, because I'm like, girl, there's some things where it's you like that for real? You like that? She only mentioned the nail polish. I know some people truly are indifferent about men wearing nail polish. It's not for me, and clearly it's not for Belle either. So finally, she's being honest about that. I'm sure there are a lot of other things that she could say, but she probably has enough consideration and care for Mecca that she's not going to embarrass him like that on camera. Does he care? No. All the grace that you are giving to him, he does not give to you. Girl, save your grace. Save it. And it is so wild to me that Mecca speaks. Guys, sometimes I feel like I can't say what I truly want to say because people are going to turn it into a thing. Whatever, I'm going to say it. For you to talk like you're a bad bitch, and you can't even get a fresh coat of nail polish on the nails, you can't get a new set of braids. I'm sorry. Don't talk like you're that person when you're not that person. He be acting like I'm that guy. Really? Really? Because Belle has yet to look off point. She's always on point. Where are you? Moving on. Nikki chimes in and she says, yeah, my man has been saying crazy things too. He said I'm a 10 in Seattle, but a 7 in New York. Why would he say that? I don't know. But she says he has since apologized and I'm over it. But are you over it? Because you're going to bring it up to any and everybody. She says she was annoyed at the fact that he only apologized once she got softer. And I'll have more comments about her softness later. But she says that she sees the little boy in him and that's what makes her want to create a safe space for him. He's currently with his mother. Let her deal with that little boy. What are we talking about? I'm so sorry. Yeah, the experts really need to pick it up, honestly. Why are we letting these men trauma dump on these women and then they, throw caution to the wind regarding these men because, oh, look at him, he's wounded. Not my problem. I'm so... I know I come across so callous, but not my problem. I will say though, regarding the comment that was made, when was it made and what was the context? Because it's now sounding like this is an old issue, but she's bringing it up currently as a new issue. But she said, I'm over it, but then you bring it up to everybody, so I don't know how over it you are. Have you spoken to Sean, like, that it's still bothering you? Because I don't know how it's gonna help when you're telling everybody about it. Like, is it a thing to say, yeah, I know we're going great, but remember that comment that he said? Yeah, that was the breaking point for me. Like, that's why I can't move forward with this. Because if that's the case, then end it now. Like, I feel like, what's the point of faking like things are good when you know you don't feel good in this coupling? Let's call a spade a spade. At the group dinner, Felipe apologizes, saying that he definitely put his foot in his mouth and he should not be speaking so flippantly about himself, but about his relationship and all of that. Tori does say that the conflict did bring them together. That's unfortunate. Mecca tells the group that he was rude to Belle before they came out here, and he thinks that they have jumped over that hurdle. Michelle does chime in and she's like, well, I don't know. You do a lot of things and I feel like Belle needs to be treated better. I thought that would turn into something, but it didn't, so okay. Then Nikki chimes in and she says, you know what? I feel like I have softened in this process, and in me being softer, it's allowing me to experience Sean in a way that I actually am attracted to.
When I started to like soften, that's when the attraction started growing for me. He showed up in a way that was much more loving and compassionate. I actually like the guy. I actually miss him a little bit.
I love all of that, but for you, hell no. I'm gonna say that now.
Here's the thing about Nikki becoming softer in this process. I had said at the beginning that I do think that she's quite sharp, and regardless of who she's in partnership with, somebody who does come across as like standoffish or combative is hard to want to embrace. So like, no matter who she was with, if she was coming across very like abrasive, it's hard to connect. So I do think in general, you do have to soften up a bit. Like, if you've been in a long-term relationship or any relationship at all, you can't just be blunt. You can't say your first thought. Sometimes you do need to address things in a softer tone than you would want to in order to keep the peace, right? However, with all that being said, I agree with Belle when she says, but Sean ain't it. And he surely is not. He surely is not. I'm glad that they've made progress. I'm glad that she has learned that softness does go a long way. However, I also do believe that the right person for you will naturally bring that out of you. I feel like she's had to put on a front in order to have this experience that she's having with Sean. And she too is wondering, okay, if I say yes at the end, am I going to get the Sean that I've been experiencing as of late? Or is he going to default to the person he was at the beginning? Which is a genuine concern. Belle is not supporting this connection at all. Neither am I. But I do hope that she has learned that approaching things in certain ways will give you different results. Michelle speaks up. And this is where we get a peek behind the veil. I said, oh, Miss Girl is very self-righteous, is she not? So she's like, yeah, I think there's strength in leaving and not putting up with what these men are putting you guys through. Essentially saying, couldn't be me.
Walking away and knowing your value makes you more special. I know that you have been trying for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, like, that person is not your fit.
That is your opinion. That is your truth. That is fine.
The only people that know the relationship the best are the people that are in the relationship.
Correct.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking different. Every relationship is fucking different.
Yeah.
You can't fucking deal with it, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's your journey.
Exactly.
Girl, go on somewhere. Michelle thinks that because her relationship is perfect, which a lot of us are definitely now not buying, especially after what Sean said, that she can be the person to call out other people and say, you know what, if that were me, I wouldn't put up with that. Okay, but you're not me. And she thinks that people are faking the funk in order to make it to the end. And true as that may be, I think that it's tricky though in an experiment like this, because especially if you watch the international versions, there have been people who were in the pits in their relationship. The experts did help them, course correct, and they're still together. So it's hard to know when to throw in the towel or when to stick it out because the tide may turn. Don't be getting too comfortable because your relationship is perfect. And things better not go left in your relationship, because I don't think you're gonna get much empathy being as judgmental as you are. Belle takes Mecca aside and lets him know that she has heard what he was saying about her and that it came from Michelle. This is important. Remember this for later. So Belle is like, honestly, I'm at the point where I don't know what I'm supposed to do with you. I feel like I protect you and you don't offer me that same protection. This is where Mecca's like, I never told you to do that. I do understand why she was trying to tiptoe on certain topics, but I think she overdid it, in my opinion. She says that she would not be giving Mecca this many chances if she was on the outside. She says that he's on thin ice. I don't know, girl, this ice sounds quite thick. Quite thick. Anyways, she admits that her feelings for him are clouding her judgment. And of course, when you're this far in, when you guys have been knocking boots and all that, and also when you have the experts saying, do you love him? Do you love him? Do you like him? Are you falling in love? Your brain is starting to make you think like, no, I should stick this out, even though you know in your rational mind, you'd be long gone. Anyways, she decides that she's not gonna let one bad night ruin her entire trip, so they go downstairs to join the festivities. They are playing a game, and one of the questions is, if you thought your connection was a mistake, who do you think you would be coupled up with? Belle says she thinks that, what's the name now? No, was that the Hall Pass one? Anyways, whatever. Belle thinks that he would like to be in a marriage with Tori. Turns out that's not true. He would want to be in a marriage with Michelle. He also mentions Caitlyn. I said, because we've seen two interesting things regarding Michelle and Caitlyn and Mecca. Obviously, whenever Michelle calls him out, he seems to be like, oh my God, Michelle is saying that about me? It feels like he's hurt that his crush doesn't approve of his behavior. Am I alone? Let me know. And then with Caitlyn, I don't know if there's been something brewing with him and Caitlyn, but this whole trip, it seems like Caitlyn just wants to be around Mecca all the time. And it's like, oh, is you cool? Like, what's going on? After this game, here goes Caitlyn wanting to talk to Mecca outside, and everybody is picking up on these weird vibes.
Mecca, you want to go maybe decompress a little? We'll come join you guys in a minute.
You're just gonna watch your girls get rizzed by Mecca for 15 minutes? What could Mecca be yapping about here?
I don't fucking know. Everything that they're doing right now is fucking bullshit. When she's with him, you know, it looks pretty fucking flirty. That's not energy she gives me. How do you want me to take this? You know what I mean?
Let me find out that the reason why Caitlyn and Mecca have been absolute pains in our asses is because they want to be together. Let me find out. Y'all could have just said that from the beginning so we didn't have to deal with you disrespecting your partners every damn day. Oh my gosh. So y'all like each other. There was one scene early in the episode and I saw it and I was like, that was weird, where Mecca was talking to her and she's like, oh my God, you're talking to me? This makes me feel so cool. I was like, what? Okay. Then they show us a little flashback of her like rubbing on his arm and all that kind of stuff. And I'm saying, if we're to believe that you rubbing on Devin meant that you're making an advance, what is this? What is this? Then it was Marissa, Adam, and Devin. They're sitting on the couch and they're like, every 5 minutes, this girl's trying to talk to Mecca. She's giving him way more attention than she ever is giving Devin. Caitlyn, come to the front. Answer for your crimes. What's going on? So then Devin confronts her in front of Belle and Mecca late in the midnight hour. Okay, and God surely did turn this around. He's like, yeah, what you're doing is inappropriate. Like, what's actually going on? And she starts to pop off at the mouth, obviously. She's irate. She's so upset. You're reading into things. Why would you say this? Why would you say that? Shut the fuck up. He said, ooh. So what we're not going to do is that. Especially because they just had a conversation about the way that she speaks to him. He said, I'm not doing this. He gets up, he leaves. The next morning, I think it was it the next morning? It was. Caitlyn again says that his behavior is childish. You know, this is her response to everything. Everything is childish. If you do not fall in line with her, you are being childish. He says, honestly, I don't care how you feel. I'm done. This toxicity is weird. The way you communicate is weird. Clearly you don't like me enough. Clearly you don't respect me, so I'm done. She says, oh, no. I've been done. She's like, I've been done. Okay? What was her reasoning? She said she would never let her friends go through the type of turmoil that she's being put through by Devin. I said, wow. Devin is putting you through the ringer? Okay, Caitlin. All right, so they are done. Thank God. Who else needs to be done? Tori and Felipe, I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all. Y'all are next. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.